and welcome to another webinar. So it seems we've got lots of people from all over the world today. So we have the United Nations. So let's have a look today. We're going to look at general training, informal letter writing. So by the end of this webinar, you'll be able to identify different types of informal letter. So use a simple structure to plan your letter. Use an appropriate greeting and sign off. Write a clear opening and closing statement and use informal grammar and vocabulary. So here's our general training writing task 1. So the task is you have to write a letter, 150 words. It's recommended you take 20 minutes for this task. 3 types of letter. So we've got formal, semi-formal, and personal. Now, just like in last week's webinar, just a pointer when we were talking about academic task 1 or general training task 1, it's a good idea if you do it last, okay? So just remember that. Okay, so read the task prompt. So I'm just going to give you a few seconds to read the task prompt. So just read it, and then I'm going to ask you a question. So is this letter formal, semi-formal, or informal? So let me have a look in the chat box. Informal, semi-formal, informal, okay. So how do you know? How do you know from the task? Let me have a look. Yeah, it's to a friend. Very good, very good. So everyone's got that, no problem. Good. Yeah, it's informal. Oops, we skipped one, just a sec. It's informal because you're writing to a friend. So make sure you pay close attention to the task. So types of letter that you could have. So informal letters are going to be like addressed to a friend, as we've just seen. So, for example, why might you need to write to a friend? What purpose could you have to write to a friend? Okay, what purpose could you have? Place you visited? Anything else? Purpose. So have a look at the images. Yeah, maybe advice. Thank you. Yeah, good. Invitation. Apology. Hopefully not, but yeah, it is a type in the task 1. Wedding. Yeah. Okay, very good. So, common reasons for writing a letter. So, we've got a number of different task types. So, we've got a complaint. So, can you think of any times you might complain? Any times you might complain? Bad service, bad meal? Yeah, good. Invitation. So, we've already had some invitations there. Wedding. Party. Application. So what kind of application may you have? Broken down iPhone, yeah, okay, good. So university, it could be a course, could be a job. Request. Can you think of any requests you might have? A loan, yeah, maybe some brochure or document. Okay. Borrow money. Okay, good. Interesting. Apology. There's an explanation. Anything you might apologize for? Can you think of any reasons? Noise, yeah, maybe you've been having some building work done. What about explanation? Yeah, for mistakes. Yeah. Good. Making arrangements. Can you think of any arrangements? Okay, trip. Yeah, good. And then giving information. So can you think of anything to give information? Yeah, could be a job. Yeah. Okay, good. Some plans, good. Okay. So let's have a look at the complaint first and have a look at what style they're going to be written in, because remember, that's in the examiner's descriptors when they're rating, so it must be the appropriate tone when you're actually writing the letter. So complaint, what would we have there? Formal, semi-formal, informal. You have a look. Yeah, formal. Okay, good. So formal. Invitation. Okay, formal, semi-formal. Good. Oops, I give you application. So request. Yeah, formal, semi-formal. Yeah, good. Oops, I gave you apology as well. My stupid mouse is too sensitive. What about explanation? Explanation. Formal, informal, formal. Okay, good. Oops, making arrangements, any style. And then giving information. What do you think that could be? Okay, good. Any style. So there are some differences. So you need to be aware of that when you're writing. So obviously, with the language you're using. So you need a plan, obviously, plan your letter. So make sure you have a clear plan. Underline the key words. So what do you think are the key words here? So what would you say are the key words? Yeah, invite friend from another country, birthday. Yeah, birthday. What else? Invite, yeah, good. Friend, yeah. Anything else? Something's missing. I don't think cake's mentioned, but good. Spare room. Okay, very good. So, there you go. Invite friend, another country, visit, your birthday, inviting your friend, and then about your birthday, explain why you want them to visit. And then they've got a spare room to stay in. So you need to brainstorm ideas for each main point. So friend, country, do you have any friends in another country? You have any friends? Okay, which country? Tell me which country. Give me a clue. Bahrain, okay, good. London, Malta. Okay. Birthday, so which birthday would you be celebrating next? Okay. 24th, okay, 29th. Why visit? So can you accept the birthday? Can you think of any other reasons maybe? Okay. And then spare room. So we've got Maria from Greece, friend from college, 30th birthday dinner, then karaoke. So looking at old photos, so there, why visit, wants to catch up, reunite with old friends, and then lots of space, can pick up from the airport. Okay, so that's our brainstorming. So we'll have an example, look at an example structure now. So we have our greeting, purpose, body paragraphs, closing, and then our sign off. Okay, so see if you can match the phrase I'm going to give you to the section. Best wishes. So which section is that going to go in? So best wishes, sign off. Okay, yeah, good. I prompted that a bit too fast. So how are you? So where's how are you? Okay, good. Anyway, I can't wait to hear from you. Where's that gonna go? Okay, good. As for the party, it's going to be great. Where would you put that? 3, okay. Body paragraphs. I thought I'd get in touch to ask. So where are we going to put that? Okay, lots of 2s. Yeah. Sorry it's been so long. Where are we going to put that? Okay, 1, 2, 1. Okay, yeah, 1 is correct. All the best. All the best. Okay. Yeah, 5. You're welcome to stay at my place. 3, okay, 3. Yeah. And then thanks so much for your letter. Okay, 1. Good. So we put that in the greeting. I just wanted to let you know that, where's that going to go? Okay, yeah, 2. Let me know if I can help at all. 4. Yeah, good. Okay, so greetings and sign off. So what informal greetings do you know? So give me some informal greetings. So give me some informal greetings. Yeah, hi, hello. Now, dear, okay, we'll have a look at this. Right, greetings, hi, hey, sup, okay, someone likes American TV series. Hey, dear, you see anything wrong there? Anything wrong? Yeah, dear. So it's not likely, you're not going to use that if it's informal. Dear Mr., Mrs., dear Sir, Madam. Okay, good. Abdel, yeah, you're on the ball. Okay, what about informal sign-offs then? So informal sign-offs, what have we got? Can you think of any? Informal sign-offs. See ya. Kisses, okay. With love, best wishes. Okay, right, let's have a look. So, best wishes. All the best. See you soon. Okay. Right, best regards. Anything out of place there? Remember, informal, so, okay, good. Yeah, so, we wouldn't need best regards, yours sincerely, yours faithfully. Okay, so remember, if you look there, with your greeting, you need a comma and your sign off. Okay, so don't forget the comma. So openings, let's have a look at an opening. So we're going to state the purpose of the letter. So we've got an invite, could be an apology, explanation, request. And then it's polite to make a little bit small talk first, in our case, because it's an informal letter. So see if you can write an opening. So you've read the question prompt. See if you can write an example opening. I'll give you a couple of minutes. See if you can write an example opening for this task and just put it in the chat box. Okay? I'll open my chat box so I can see. So remember, it's an opening, so you're not signing off. It's not a closing. Okay. Been a while. Okay, how have you been? It's been so long since we met. Okay, good. Okay, some good examples. Okay, I'll just close off my chat box. That's it. So, dear Miss Maria, so there we have our opening. So, excuse me, it's been written in a formal style. So what would you change here? So how would you change this? How would you change this? So think about how you would change it. What would you get rid of? Okay, yeah, that's very good. Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. Everyone's got that. Anything else? So think about vocabulary. So we've got miss. Anything else? Let me have a look and see what people are writing. Yeah. Anything else? Right up. So let's have a look. So that's very formal there. I apologize for the delay in writing to you. So sorry it's been so long since I last wrote. Therefore, I thought I would contact you to ask if you'd like to visit me. Well, very formal. Get in touch to see if you would like to come over for a visit. And then we've got some linking words. What could we change those to? So they're quite formal. Can you think of anything you might change them to? Let's have a look. Anything you would change the linking words to? Other linking words, but maybe not so formal. Let's have a look. Okay. That's it. So, but and so, okay. So that's a good example of an informal introduction there. Okay, and we've clearly stated the purpose. And we've got some contractions. So it's, yeah, and I'd, yeah, and you'd. So we've got informal language there. Good, so everyone seems to be pretty much on mark. So body paragraphs, we need to write one body paragraph for each point, include a main point and supporting details, and then make sure we cover all of the points. So have a look at the images. Okay, looks like my kind of party. So, as it's my 30th birthday, I thought we could, so how do you think you could complete that? How could we complete that? As it's my 30th birthday, I thought we could, yeah. Celebrate together, okay, good. So, do something special. So look in the middle. So what would that be, do you think? So far, the plan is to, yeah, okay. What have we got? There's a slight delay on the text box there, so just keep typing, they will come through. Okay. Yeah, good. Going for a fancy meal at Ben's restaurant, then we'll. So, look at the last one. Okay, have some international delicacies. Okay, Nanika, good. What about the last picture? Then we'll... Yeah. Okay, good. Everyone's go out the karaoke bar, and so do you think you could finish that off? Then we'll go out to a karaoke bar and... Can you think of anything else? And... All right, let's have a look. See where the night takes us. How does that sound? So, if we look at that, you can see the use of informal language. So we've got phrasal verbs, go out, and then informal lexis, so far, fancy, and then idiomatic language. So that's a nice phrase there. See where the night takes us. So let's have a look at our body paragraphs again. So we've got a few images. It would be great if. So how do you think you would complete that? It would be great if. Okay, you can join with me. You can make it over. Okay. I was looking at, so what do you think the person's been looking at? So look at the first one. Okay, what have they been looking at? Okay, I was looking at the photos from our course graduation party and the other day, so many amazing memories. And then let's have a look for the last one. Do you remember Rosie and Paul from the course? Well, so what do you think's happening to Rosie and Paul? What's happening to Rosie and Paul? Okay. Well, they're getting married, so they'll be at the dinner, so you can catch up with them too. Okay. So again, have a look at the informal language. We've got phrasal verbs, make it over, catch up with them. Informal lexis, I was looking at, yeah. Okay, good. Catch up with the other day. Exclamation marks and questions. So, well, they're getting married. Do you remember? And there's a question mark. Amazing memories. Right. So we go on to the last part. So if you look at point 3 on the bullets there, you're welcome to, so look at point 3 in the bullets. You're welcome to have a look in the bullet points. Point 3. Well, stay over at mine. Okay. Oops. While you're here, there's plenty of room. We have a spare room, bedroom. And I'd be happy to, so think about the last 2. So what would you do if someone was coming to visit? And if they were arriving from overseas? Yeah, good. Pick you up at the airport. Very good. Good, good. Yeah. Pick you up at the airport. Just let me know. So what information would you need to know if you were going to pick them up? Just let me know. What information would you need if you were going to pick them up? Okay, I'll give you that one because it looks like there's a slight delay. So just let me know what time you're arriving. So again, have a look at the informal language. So your contractions, there's, I'd, your, phrasal verbs. So we've got stay over, yeah, pick you up. And then can you see any other examples of informal language there? Anything else you can see? Let me see if you can spot any more. Look at the first sentence. Okay. Anything you can spot? Stay over at mine. Yeah, plenty of room. Okay, good. So there we have it. So there's our letter, and then we need our closing. So before you sign off, include a brief closing statement. And there's one there. Is this closing statement suitable? So do you think this closing statement is suitable? What do you think? I look forward to hearing from you. Do you think that's suitable? I look forward to hearing from you. Okay. All right. Well, could you improve it? So could you improve it? Yeah, it's formal. So could you improve it? Can anyone improve it? Well, we can just change it around. We don't have to completely change it. Yeah. Ah, okay. Good. Well, that disappeared very fast there, but that was good. Saruj, almost there. So looking forward to hearing from you. Okay. So we've got the ing form there. Looking forward to hearing from you. So that's good. So, excuse me, there we have it. There's our letter. So remember to write your name after you sign off. So we got best wishes. Okay. And then sign off your name. And then you have a letter. So let's have a look, quick review. Decide what type of letter you have. So read through the prompt, plan the main points. So you've got the bullet points. So look at the bullet points and how you're going to plan it. So here we had, it's a birthday, so 30th birthday, inviting a friend from overseas, can stay at your house. And then choose the correct greeting. Write your opening. So the purpose of the letter. Body paragraphs. and then write the closing and sign off. Make sure you check for errors once you've finished. Okay. Ranjinder, use cheers. I mean, a lot of people would. I wouldn't suggest it in your exam, but a lot of people probably would. Yeah. Okay. Excellent. So, if anyone has any questions, happy to answer questions. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Stephen, for a presentation. Yeah, that was really, really interesting. And guys, I hope you found it useful. So thank you very much. Thanks also for your answers. We had some great language there in the chat. So well done, guys. It looks like your writing's really, really quite high level there. So we'll have some time now to discuss your questions. If you do have any questions you'd like us to discuss, please put them into the Q&A box. To make this fair, we'll start with questions in the Q&A. So while you're adding your questions to the Q&A, I will do a brief bit of promotion for our speaking and writing evaluation service. You can see the link for that up on the screen. That's our premium services. This is a service that we offer via our IELTS online test website, where you can send in your writing and a qualified examiner will look through your writing and give you very detailed feedback on your performance. So it could be myself, it could be Stephen or another one of our team of examiners. We can give you feedback on each criteria, your estimated score, and what you can do to improve your score in each criteria. So that is via the link on the screen there under premium services. I'll also put the link in the chat as well. We offer a similar service for speaking as well. So if you're interested in improving your speaking, you can book time with a speaking examiner as well. So guys, I'm aware we have a lot of your questions to get through. So we'll jump right in. Again, I can see some of you are putting questions in the chat. We're going to focus on the ones in the Q&A first. So please put your questions in the Q&A and we'll tackle those ones first of all. Zara, you're asking about the task 1 for academic. We have a webinar coming up on Thursday on academic writing, discussing a complex chart. So I'll put details of that in the chat as well. Let's see. So question here from Gurdeep. Gurdeep is asking, can we use idioms in an informal letter?
Well, I mean, you probably would be okay to do that, but one of the problems I find is that when students start using idiomatic language, unless they're at a really high level, they often make errors. I mean, you could use kind of good collocations, like it was freezing cold last Friday afternoon or something like that. You know, the examiners see a lot of idiomatic language that has been memorized, like every coin has 2 sides and it's like a double-edged sword and stuff like that. And I often see mistakes made with those. So, you know, I would suggest, you know, good collocations. If you think you can use them okay, then, you know, it wouldn't harm you in that.
Definitely. Yeah, I think things like phrasal verbs and collocations, they're your friends, especially for informal writing. That's a safer bet. Guys, I should mention that we do have a number of other webinars which we have recorded, and they're available on our YouTube channel. So if you want to see previous webinars on general training or on academic writing, either task 1 or task 2, you can check out our YouTube channel. I'll put the link to that in the chat as well. So you'll be able to see recordings of all our previous webinars on there. There are some really good ones, so please take a look. Question from Kriti, who's asking, how many main points should we include in our letter? How many, I guess that's related to the number of paragraphs as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have to look for your letter, look at the bullet points, you know, look at the bullet points, and those are the points to mention in your letter. So you need to make sure you fulfill the task by, you know, completing those bullet points. Those are going to be your body paragraphs there. So look at the bullet points in the task. Okay?
Yeah, definitely. I'd agree with that. It's kind of how many are in the question.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a question from Mamta. What time are you landing? But I think this is related to the letter itself, not a question. So, yep. Sue is asking, can we say pick you up from the airport? Yes, I think.
Yeah.
Can I pick you up from the airport? Yeah, excellent. Here's a good question from Romario. They are asking, how can I practice for the speaking test in my daily life?
Good question. And you can't really, well, it's not that you can't, but in everyday life, you know, basically you want to be speaking English as much as you possibly can. That is going to prepare you for the speaking test. What lots of students do is try to memorize part 2 topics, memorize what the expected part 1 topics are. Remember, if you're using memorized phrases, the examiner will catch you out in part 3 because the examiner makes the questions up in part 3 of the test. So if they think you've been memorizing, they're actually going to push you a little bit harder to see how good your language skills are. So the main thing you have to do is just practice speaking English. So whether that's with a native English teacher or whether you have a study group or you do a language exchange. So, you know, remember the test is just there to evaluate how good your level of English is, whether you're emigrating or going to study abroad. And your studies are likely to continue even after you've done one of those 2 things. Your English language is still going to have to improve. So just practice speaking as much as you can. And I would avoid trying to memorize things because, you know, there's a lot of schools teach memorization and examiners hear the same things over and over again. So it's best if it's natural and just practice. If you want to be good at tennis, you have to practice. Yeah, it's the same for speaking.
Yeah, definitely. I'd agree there. So I'm getting a bit of disturbance. I don't know if that's from my end or your end, Stephen, but okay. Great. So this is quite a tricky question from Kriti. Kriti is asking, how can I score a 9 in writing? It's a difficult one.
It's the $64,000 question.
Yeah.
You would be surprised to know that even native speakers may not score a 9 in writing. It's, you know, extremely difficult. Some native speakers are not very good at spelling, so of course they're not likely to get a 9 because their score would be pulled down. So really the difference between an 8 and a 9, they're only minuscule differences. Yeah, that only once you start going 7, 8, and 9, the difference in the number of errors, grammatically or in lexis, is, you know, very slight. So I would even say 8 is verging on native speaker, really, you know. So it's a matter of what you're going to have to do is do a lot of editing. You're going to have to look at your grammar, eliminate the errors, because like I always say, you should be able to, you should be able to answer the task and expand the ideas. So yeah, it's possible to get a 9 for that. And then coherence, good use of transition signals. That would be possible. The difficult area is always going to be grammar and lexis. Yeah. So you'd have to work on eliminating any errors you have in those two areas. But it isn't easy, and trust me, I've had lots of students over the years, and the closest anyone has been to a 9 was an 8. But I mean, that's still a tremendously good score.
Yeah, and I think it's more than you would need for any kind of qualification.
Absolutely.
Or so but it's great to aim high for sure. We have a question from Fuang Trang. They are asking, how can we easily know the letter type, which one is formal and which one is informal?
Well, Fong, it just goes back to the question prompt. So, for example, in the one we did today, it said write to a friend. And then if it says you are writing to complain about something, then obviously, you know, you look at the prompt and see what it's saying in the prompt, and that's going to tell you what kind of language you need to use. So most likely an informal letter, you're going to be writing to someone you know, i.e. a friend. Formal, it's going to be something like a complaint letter or something like that. So look at what it says in the prompt, like we did at the beginning of class there, to find out what style we're going to write in.
Absolutely. Let's see, a question from Kriti. If we have points, can we put them like one another next? So I think this is maybe about the linking expressions that you can use. Would you say like first, another one, next? It's not very informal, is it? That's more like task 2.
Yeah, it's not a natural way that you would write to a friend, or it's not really the style you would use. It's more for essay writing rather than letters. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. For an academic essay, I'd say it's okay to say first of all, secondly, but yeah, you won't say that for a letter to your friend, for example. For task 2, that's right, Kriti. Maham has a question about the signature at the end of the informal letter. Should we use a full name, or should we just use a first name for the signature?
Well, if you're writing to a friend, then you just write your first name, because obviously they know you. If you're writing a complaint letter, or maybe you're requesting information or one of the more formal styles, then you would use also your surname.
Yeah, definitely. Stephen, we have a lot of questions to get through, so I'm going to see if we can do rapid fire. We never have enough time, so let's just see how many we can get through in the last the time that we have. So a question from Ratho, is kind regards a good substitute for best wishes?
Kind regards, you could use best wishes, kind regards. I mean, kind regards is touching on the formal, really. You wouldn't use that really with a friend. So
maybe semi-formal, it would be okay. Formal. Yeah, cool. Difficult question from Janet. How can I improve my writing grammar?
Well, it's about review and editing. So look at the common errors you continue to make, eliminate those one by one. So if you're having problems with articles, have a look at how to use articles again. If it was prepositions, then review your prepositions. But I would say that you need a good teacher, because you need someone to correct your essays. And if you don't have that, then you've got a problem. It's very difficult to improve on your own.
Yeah, I would agree. And I will also just take that opportunity to make a shameless plug for our premium writing evaluation. If you are looking for a teacher who can give you feedback on your writing, we are available to do that via our website. I've put the link in the chat there. So Question from Anonymous. Hello, Anonymous. Welcome back. What is the difference between a formal and informal letter?
Well, you've just seen it, really. So, like we said through the presentation, you know, informal, you're going to be writing to a friend, an invitation or something like that. Formal, then it's going to be something like you're complaining, you're applying for a job, part-time job, for example, or requesting information, semi-formal. So again, look at the prompt at the beginning to tell you what it is you need to be writing, what tone you need to be using.
Yeah, definitely. A few questions here on vocabulary. Is it essential to use complex vocabulary to get a high score in lexical resource?
Yes, because obviously if you're writing lots of simple sentences, it's very unnatural and it's difficult for the reader. You know, if I wrote, I love McDonald's, every day I go to buy one, I usually buy ice cream, you know, it's not very natural. You know, I love ice cream, every day I go to McDonald's to buy one. That's much better. You're using sentence connectors. So there will be some simple sentences in there, but you need to use a good range of both.
Yeah, excellent. I think as well with the vocabulary, you do need to use more complex vocabulary, but it's important to use it accurately as well. And I think this is where some students lose marks, is that they try to use very complicated high-level vocabulary, but they're not able to control the words very well, and maybe they use the words inappropriately. So that could be something else to focus on, is accuracy as well as using a range of language. Question from Ali. Ali has asked, is it acceptable to write 180 words, say, rather like to go over the word limit?
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about the word limit, going over the word limit. In fact, the British Council have, to my knowledge, just scrapped the word limit because you used to be penalised. There was different stages. You would be penalised -1 point for task achievement. But if it's short, the likelihood is it's going to be a bad letter or bad task one or academic essay. So I wouldn't, obviously you want to be aiming for 250 to, I'd say 280 for your task 2, maybe 180 for your task 1. But you know, you don't need a thesis for your task 2. Yeah. So don't worry about being over the word count. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quality, not quantity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which spelling is recommended, American or English, British English?
Yeah, I mean, it's better just to stick to one. You don't really want to be combining it. Just choose one. I mean, it doesn't really matter which one you use, but it's probably better just to stick to the same throughout. So, but it doesn't really matter. It's the same. A lot of people ask about accents. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you speak with an American twang or the Queen's English.
Definitely. Yeah. There's a question here from Sharia, who is asking, maybe I can tackle this one. It's a bit difficult to explain. What does it mean to write specifically the purpose of this letter? Sharia, I think that is in the instructions. It would be to say you need to make your purpose clear when you're writing the letter. So I think you need to make the specific purpose clear. If you're apologizing, if you're inviting, if you're explaining, make your purpose clear at the start of your letter. I am writing to apologize for da da da. That's my understanding of your question there. Question from Obscured Clouds. Obscured Clouds is asking, can we categorize the type of letter from the question? For example, the question says you do not need to write any address. Start from Dear dear Mr., dear Mrs., dear Sir. I think, yeah, if the question tells you how to start the letter, I would suggest following what the question says. Start your letter like that, and you might be able to tell what type of question it is as well. If it's saying dear, then yeah, it could be formal, it could be informal. So maybe it doesn't help you to know the type of letter. Okay. Sorry, Stephen, just some of the questions are a little bit complicated, so it's kind of hard to explain them. Let's do a couple more, and I think then we can wrap up for today. So we have a question from Mamta about punctuation. If we place the exclamation mark at the wrong place, will we lose any marks?
Well, punctuation is important in grammar. So, you know, you need to be careful that you've got commas with your clauses, full stops are in the correct place, capitalization. So it's a, you know, one or two errors is not going to be a real issue, but if you've got major issues with your punctuation, then it is going to be a problem. Yeah. So again, that goes back to what we were talking earlier when people are talking about how to improve your writing. And it's all about editing and going through, having a look at what your teacher's corrected. And then the next essay you write, are you making the same mistakes? Have you corrected that? So, you know, it's still something you need to pay attention to. Never underestimate the power of punctuation. Yeah,
definitely. Absolutely, guys. I'm sorry, I'm looking through your questions. There's some great questions there. We just don't have time to cover them all today. But thank you so much for joining us for this session. If you do have an urgent question you want us to answer, you can ask it on our YouTube channel. We do check all the videos. Feel free to ask your questions there, and one of us will get back to you with an answer on there. I've also put the links to our upcoming webinars in the chat. So you could see on IELTSonlinetest.com webinars. We have several more coming up. We have one on speaking tomorrow at 1:30 with Annalie. We have another one later in the week on academic writing task 1. So it would be great if you could join us for one of those. So I'd just like to say a very big thank you again to Stephen for joining us.
Study hard, guys. Make sure you come to the webinars because it's useful advice for you.
So yeah, I think it can help you guys a lot. So thanks again for joining us, for taking part, and hopefully we'll see you again in another session soon. So cheers, guys. See you again. Bye-bye.